President Zelensky has announced a government reshuffle after the resignation of his chief of staff, Andriy Yermak. He is a long-time ally of Ukraine's president, but he'd been under pressure over his links to senior figures caught up in a major corruption scandal. There were raids on one of his apartments at the start of today. Well, here we are 2/3 through the day and the resignation being announced. Let's go straight to Kyiv and straight to our correspondent Abu Razavov, who's there for us, and tell us more.
Well, earlier today, following the search that the anti-corruption agencies conducted at Mr. Yermak's place, they did say that he wasn't named as a suspect in this investigation. However, they said the investigation process was going on. And today, when Mr. Zelensky announced that the resignation of Mr. Yermak, he used the word reset, that this step will help to reset his office. The situation here in Ukraine is really toxic now following this major corruption scandal. And it is important for President Zelensky, of course, to do something. And this step perhaps is aimed exactly at this, to defuse this tense situation by accepting this resignation. The thing is, the corruption scandal involves energy companies at a time when the vast places in Ukraine are facing daily power cuts. And of course, a lot of people, when they heard this case, when they heard that the top government officials were allegedly involved in this corruption scheme, they got furious, and many blame Mr. Yermak as well, because he's the second most powerful person in the country. And anti-corruption activists saying that this kind of scheme would not be possible without his knowledge.
And how destabilizing is it? Because, as you say, he's the closest of advisors. The pictures we've been showing our audience show him involved in the most recent of those peace negotiations with the Americans. He's a crucial piece of the jigsaw. So how much of a blow is it for President Zelensky?
Well, Ukraine is indeed at the most important moment probably of the political talks that are happening now to refine the document and achieve a new peace deal. And President Zelensky already announced that instead of Mr. Andriy Yermak, who was the head of the negotiator in this process, now the Ukrainian side will be represented by the foreign ministry officials, by the head of the National Security Council of Ukraine, Mr. Rustem Umerov, and by the chief of the general staff, Mr. Andriy Yermak. So he says that the negotiations will carry on, that the Ukrainian side will continue they will continue trying to convince the American delegations to include the Ukrainian interest in this new document that they are currently revising. And the Ukrainians are just hoping that despite this major scandal, despite this major resignation, the Ukrainians' interests will still be represented during these talks.